In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the trigger springs on your L2, R2 buttons from your PlayStation 5 Dualsense controller. You can first connect your controller to hardwaretester.com/gamepad, and you can first see if all the buttons are registering. In some cases, they only register halfway, which is super annoying when you're trying to game. So here I have a microphone right in front of me, and you can try to listen to how my R2 sounds. So we can disassemble this controller, replace the trigger springs, and this issue will be fixed. So we're gonna open up this controller, and the first thing we're gonna do is remove this black faceplate. You can entirely do all of this by using your hands, your nails, but there can be other things that you can use, such as this guitar pick that might be able to speed up the process for you, but you essentially just snug your nails inside and just pull it up very slowly. If it's the first time, it's going to be a little tight, so you might have to put additional force, but this is not the first time I'm opening this controller. That's why it looks pretty simple. So to remove the bumper buttons, I'm just going to hold the R2, L2, take a little screwdriver, put it in there, and pop it open. You see, if you have to replace these bumper buttons, the process is a lot simpler. You just do this and put it right back in. But it's not the case for the L2 and R2. So now you're gonna notice two screws over here and here as you open the bumper buttons, and also at the bottom right there and there. So we're gonna grab a mini screwdriver to open up these screws. A lot of you have previously commented on my other video that you do not have a mini screwdriver. What do you do? Well, a lot of other people have told me that you can use a sharp knife and try to get the job done. I haven't personally tried that, but this might be an option for you if you do not have a mini screwdriver. Or you can just get one from a hardware store. It's like, I don't know, it should cost only a couple dollars, but anyway, there's two, and there's two right here. Okay, so the controller just lit up, but anyway, the way we're gonna open up this thing is we're gonna try to hold in this fashion and try to open it up, but you're not gonna be able to do it because there are two latches over here and here. I'm gonna try to get the zoom in. So I'm gonna use my guitar pick, and I'm just gonna try to snug this thing. You can even use your nail and kind of just opening these two latches. And as you're opening it, you're gonna be able to dispatch the controller. So kind of doing this simultaneously, this might just be the hardest process in this entire tutorial, but should be pretty straightforward. Just like this, and it's gonna sound pretty bad, but you're not gonna break it, so just be careful. But once you open up this back cover, what we're now gonna do is open up the battery. So we're gonna have this battery, here's the tray, and all you're gonna do is just grab it and just pull it open. And now we're gonna see this battery tray. Grab your screwdriver again and take out this screw from the battery tray. Now you have to be careful, there's a little microphone jack, so take the microphone jack along with the battery tray. So just using your fingernails to kind of open the thing, and there you go. So I just got the light a little closer to me and also zoomed in a little bit more. Hopefully you can see what's going on inside. So you can see there's a little spring right over there, and this is exactly what we want to replace. Maybe this thing broke, got loose due to a lot of playtime, or just simply creating a lot of clicky noise, as the case with me. So what we're gonna do is take this out, put in a fresh one. And how do we do that? The best way is we're first gonna take out this side of the spring. So I assume you have a tweezer, but if you do not have a tweezer, you can do the same thing with a little push pin as well. I'll try to do it with the push pin for now. So essentially the first step is to just snug your push pin inside, get that spring, take the spring closest to you, and it just snaps off. Just like that. This thing might be damaged or has a bit of issue. We're now gonna be replacing a new set of springs. So I got this for a very cheap price from Amazon. Again, I'll leave the link for this in the description box, but this thing is actually the spring from my DualShock PS4 controller. So I did not have any spare DualSense springs available. As you can see, this spring and this spring is not exactly the same. The PS5 one is a little bit more sturdier. It has more more loops, which makes it a little more stiffer, and you'll have more firmer press, which I really like. But as of now, I just have my DualShock spring available with me. So I'll leave a link to this in the description as well, whichever you want to find available. They both work on either controller. So I'm just going to be using my DualShock spring for now. And the way we're going to insert this is I'm going to first grab it like so. And in this case, I'm replacing it on the R2 button. So we're first going to hold the spring like so. And the key here is to first, you see there's a little plastic tube sort of thing there. I'll try my best to show it on camera. But the first step is to just lay the spring on top of it. So just make sure that it rests on the controller, just like so. And after that, we want to rotate this spring so that it kind of sits on top of this little, it's just going to rest on that little thing. And now we're going to grab the tweezer and we're going to pull this spring all the way closer to me and push it all the way across so that it sits on the little latch, just like this. In my case, since I put the DualShock on my R2, I'll do the same with the L2 as well. It's just a tiny bit less firmer. I don't really mind, but I do like when it's firm. So if you want to replace with the DualSense, once again, you can get the item from the description box. So again, I'm just gonna place that spring first onto that little plastic latch. So I'm just gonna first put it in there. Little workaround, but that's okay. While that's sitting in place, I'm going to grab the other side, pull it up, and place it right there. So again, you might need a couple of iterations, but I trust you, you'll get there. Now I don't hear any bit of clicky noise. It's feeling good, feeling firm, no clicky noise, no looseness. So you can always follow this tutorial to replace these springs whenever needed. But once all of that is done, you're ready to put everything back again. So here I have the battery tray. You might have this little microphone jack pulling off. In that case, what you can do, just take it and put that little latch into that little gap, and it's just gonna sit in place. Is this the microphone? I don't know. I think it's called the microphone jack, but anyway, next we're gonna put the battery tray back again. And while you're doing that, you can just attach the microphone wire onto that little green pocket. It sits right in place. We have our screws. We're gonna first put the screw for the battery tray, put it in there, use our screwdriver to screw it up. And again, if you don't have a tiny screwdriver, you can always try to use something different like a sharp knife, or just get one. After you stick that one, you have the battery. You're not gonna lose the battery. Attach, snug, put it right back. And now we're gonna attach the cover. So the way we're gonna do it is just put it in this way, putting this portion first and then working my way back. So kind of aligning with those and pressing down, and that's as good as new. But before you put the faceplates on, we have to put in these screws. So once again, we have these little gaps for the screws, so don't forget to install them. Once you've attached all the 4 screws, we're ready to put the bumper buttons back. So again, this is L2, so R2 is gonna go this way, and you just put it in and you just press against it. And that's how simple it is. Do the same for the R1, you just put it in here, align it and press. That's it. Last thing, we have the faceplate. So these 2 little pointy ends go first. That's how I find it to be easier, and just work your way down. And there you go. That is how you replace the trigger springs on your PlayStation 5 controller. Happy gaming. I'll see you guys in the next video.